Okay, so I think we can start. Welcome everyone to the energy efficiency thematic module organized by MedCities. As you know, this is the third session. During this session, as I was saying, participants will be divided into subgroups according to their language, French or English. This is the reason why it's very important to rename yourself. So you can do so by following the instructions you have in the screen. Also, because it's a very interactive session, we encourage you to turn your camera on so that we can all see each other. And also at the end of the session, I will give you a few slides about the mentoring process that is going to start after this first section of the energy efficiency thematic module. So, well, I will explain you better afterwards, but I encourage you all to apply for it. You will also receive the information in your email. So, Verdiana, if you want, you can start by introducing the case. And in the meantime, I encourage those who still haven't changed their names and to do so by including the municipality and the language, please. Thank you.
I was muted. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to this third session. I see in some names that there is some people from the last session, so thank you for coming again. As you know, we will work in this session. We will work on a case study. Here we decided to propose you two different cases, very different from each other. As regard the dimension of the case and as regard the implemented action. This is because we saw that some of you come from different contexts, and we are interested to propose you these opposite cases, so you can choose the one that best fit to your situation or your reality. Okay, so the idea is that when we will go to the two groups we have created, the group should decide which case wants to work on. The case one is a big city, a city with more than 300,000 inhabitants. This is a municipality located in the Mediterranean climate or region. And this municipality has already committed to reduce emissions and has already developed a sustainable energy action plan. This plan included a lot of measures, especially realizing energy audits for all the public buildings of the street and for all the public street lights of the city. Also installing some energy management systems in representative buildings of the municipality, installing the renewable energy system in the 50% of public buildings as a minimum for the duration of the plan, and also a replacement of 50% of public street lights with LED also during this period. Other actions are, for example, the replacement of obsolete heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems in public buildings, and awareness campaigns, both for public workers and for boosting energy efficiency in private sectors, like industry, tourism, and residential one. Another action is to create a public energy advisory service or office in order to have a better awareness campaigns and also to help boosting energy efficiency in the private sector. So this city, after that, this city has already implemented some actions. Especially the last one is this one, that is the most effective one, and that is the replacement of public streetlights with LED for a vulnerable district with more or less 15,000 inhabitants. This action was created, was realized in a district with problems of energy poverty, of security, and low incomes. Okay, it ended in a successful way, and so the city has new objectives in short term. It wants to replicate the project of replacement of public streetlights in other districts, but it's not clear which ones and how. And it wants to realize other actions from this plan. Okay. This is case one. Case two is a small city, is a 20,000 inhabitants city. It's a mostly rural one. It is highly dependent on fossil fuels, and it has a lot of problems of blackout due to problems in the grid and obsolete states of the infrastructure. And this city is growing, so it is expected to grow in population and so on energy demand. Okay, this city hasn't still committed to reduce energy emissions, and so it hasn't developed a sustainable energy action plan. So the objectives in short term are to commit to developing a sustainable energy action plan, so to define which are the priority actions for implementing the energy efficiency policies. And the first priority is to solve problems related to residential sector because of the low quality of life of its inhabitants, with all these problems of blackout and some problem of energy poverty. So there is a low capacity, for example, to satisfy the energy demand for climatization and domestic hot water due to the problem of access to energy, or the problems of blackout or economical problems. Okay. By the way, the climate helps in order to install renewable energy systems. On the other side, these inhabitants hasn't the economical capacity to invest in order to realize these actions. Okay, so the priority for the municipality in this case is to work on this problem. Okay. And at general level, we are talking about a sustainable energy action plan of 10 years, both for both the cities. So we have to consider that both of them will experience an increasing in energy demand due to the growth of population. Okay. And on the other hand, they need to reduce energy emissions to mitigate climate change. Okay, in both cases, City 1 and City 2, all the buildings, equipment, facilities, and industries are the ones that represent the highest part of greenhouse gas emissions, the 60%, and these sectors depend for the 70% on electricity and for 30% on fossil fuels. Okay. Okay. These are the cases so you have to choose one of them, and then we have given you also some other information that can be helpful for you in order to discuss about the actions. Some information about energy efficiency policies that you can include in the case of City 2, for example, for realizing energy efficiency policies. So these are the same that we explored and talked about in the previous session. Then some pillars of the Sustainable Energy Action Plan. It can be useful for both the cases, for the case of City 1 and City 2. And this table that perhaps it can be inspiring when we will talk about key actors, stakeholders, and the steps to implement the different energy actions, energy efficiency policies. Okay. There is also a reminder on financing instruments and also on financing mechanism that can be implemented by the municipality itself. Okay, this is information that you can use or not during the discussion. Okay, it has been prepared for you in order to help you to develop the case. So after this description, the idea is that after choosing one of the city, you can work on this other document. Okay, so the first activity we propose you is to analyze, depending on the case, which are the weaknesses, the threats, the opportunities, and the strengths of the case 1 and case 2. In case 1, you have to think about the replication of the streetlight replacement action in other districts. Okay, and also about the short-term implementation of the action already included in the Sustainable Energy Action Plan. Okay, so here you have to think about which are, for example, the opportunities to replicate the project of the streetlight replacement action in other districts can be, I don't know, for example, having knowing the energy consumption of other districts, or the strength can be, I don't know, the fact that we already have a previous knowledge, a previous experience. Okay, in the case 2, you have to think about weaknesses, threats, opportunities, and strengths, while thinking about committing for the definition of a sustainable energy action plan. So, and to solve also the priority related to the residential sector with all the problems that I have described before. Okay, after this previous analysis, there will be some questions to discuss together about how to solve or how to reach the objectives of both the cases. Okay, so these questions are, for example, what approach would you follow for implementing the action? What goals would you define? Who are the key actors and the stakeholders? Who are the contribution and the barriers related to the stakeholders? What action can the municipality take to solve the barriers related to stakeholders? So you are seeing that we here a lot of questions relate to aspects that we have already discussed about in the session 2, for example, or also session 1, that regards, for example, the need of having a communication plan. Okay. So there are other questions like what action can the municipality, how can the city council promote citizen awareness and increase governance? What is the awareness raising priority and which actions would be more effective? Propose a possible financing model, and how could a successful public energy advisory service be implemented? Okay, so this is the explanation of the case. Perhaps we can go to the different rooms, Gemma, and we can start.
If some people didn't yet rename themselves, but I tried to guess, and I put them in a room. So if you are not happy with the language of your room, just let me know and I will change you. So should I open them now?
Okay.
Okay, so in theory, we come back in this room at, since it's at 5:10 past 3, and if you need more time, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So let me open.
Have you shared already?
Okay. Yeah, we have shared them in the chat. We will do it again now. Now you should receive a message saying, okay, I see some people already moving. Okay. So vale, tothom està a les habitacions, a les rooms. Yes. So we have again the simultaneous translation. You can access it like in the other sessions so that the two groups can communicate better. So now we should be, yeah, there is only one person left. And so we should be here very soon. I hope you had nice discussions. And I was saying that if there is anything else, we can also share it here between all of us. Okay, so we are one of the two groups. If you want to start by sharing the outputs and what you were discussing. I don't know who wants to start.
We can go. What we'll do is that I will share the screen and somebody from our group, Monsieur Firas, will share with you and explain the results and what we have been talking about.
Okay. For the translation, just to let you know, if you are going to talk in French, you can do so, of course. Just make sure you are in the French channel for the translation. And then the other, well, yeah, so that we can hear it in the other language.
Okay, so maybe Firas, you want to share with everybody very quickly?
Je commence, Mireille?
Oui, s'il vous plaît, s'il vous plaît. Vous voyez bien l'écran?
Oui, je vois. Bon, pour notre projet, on a travaillé sur le premier cas, sur la ville qui a 300 000 habitants. On a traité l'analyse SWOT avec ces 4 thèmes, la faiblesse, la menace, les opportunités et ses forces. Et par rapport à la thématique de la faiblesse, on a travaillé, les participants ont évoqué la faiblesse technique concernait l'installation trop âgée au niveau des lamplettes et au niveau de lampadaires, de lampadaires, et la faiblesse financière qui est le coût des lamplettes qui est très élevé et comment on peut récupérer l'investissement initial, c'est-à-dire le taux d'investissement est très lent et ce n'est pas rentable à court terme. La difficulté de gérer des lampadaires au niveau...
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Can I interrupt a second? There is some problem with the translation. So, Maria, Li pots dir que estigués segur que es fiqui en el canal de francès, and the
D'accord. Est-ce
translate.
que vous m'entendez très bien maintenant?
On vous entend bien, Monsieur Firas, mais apparemment, il faudrait que vous entriez sur le canal de français parce que sinon, le traducteur n'arrivera pas à vous entendre pour bien faire la traduction.
Mais je suis,
Voilà.
mais je suis sur la partie française, sur la traduction française.
Il est déjà, Gemma, ell ja hi és sobre el canal francès.
Okay, so I don't know, there was some kind of problem. Sorry about that. We can go back and see if now it's solved with.
So he can restart again, no? Now it's
Yeah.
gonna work. Translation.
Can I start?
Yes, start and see if now it works. Thank you and sorry about that.
Donc il faudra recommencer.
So if you have any problem, you can tell me. Yeah?
Okay, thank you. Let's see
Peut-être-
now.
On va essayer en français pour que les gens de groupe français comprennent et sinon on va vous demander vous-même de faire la traduction simultanée. Mais ça sera difficile.
No, I am not very strong in English, but
No, let's try in French.
okay. Donc, par rapport à la thématique de la faiblesse, on a traité la faiblesse technique au niveau de l'installation des lampadaires qui sont très âgés et on a traité aussi la faiblesse financière. Le coût des lampes LED sont très élevés et le taux d'investissement c'est à long terme, ce n'est pas à court terme, donc ce sont parmi les points de faiblesse. Il y a le problème de télégestion et qui n'est pas existant actuellement au niveau des communes et par conséquent, il est été à cause de fort investissement. Parmi les menaces, c'est la difficulté financière, ça demande un investissement initial qui est très important et il y a un manque d'investissement au niveau du budget communal. C'est un budget qui est limité au niveau d'investissement. C'est pour cette raison les investissements ne sont pas à grande échelle et à un niveau de taille très important. De même, c'est le taux d'investissement, c'est très lent et il faut beaucoup d'années pour récupérer les investissements qui sont déjà émis au niveau du projet. Et parmi aussi les points faibles, les menaces, c'est absence de main-d'œuvre qualifiée au niveau des communes. Donc, il y a absence de technicité, ce qui implique qu'il faut avoir des formations au niveau pour les techniciens pour mieux avoir plus de capacité de technicité pour traiter les installations et les nouvelles technologies. Difficulté de partager de succession d'éclairage parce que chaque ville a une réalité budgétaire et le taux d'encadrement au niveau des communes, ça diffère d'une commune à une autre et chaque commune a ses caractéristiques financières et techniques. Par rapport au niveau des opportunités, il faut avoir plus de partenariats publics-privés au niveau national et les communes ont les moyens et ont le besoin d'exploiter les ressources d'énergie renouvelable au maximum, quel que soit le type d'énergie, quel que soit solaire, thermique, éolienne. Donc, il faut exploiter le maximum possible. Parmi les opportunités aussi, c'est améliorer le bilan énergétique pour chaque commune. C'est à travers le diagnostic qui améliorera les données disponibles, la réduction des émissions de gaz à effet de serre un diagnostic plus clair et établi, ça vous donne un plus de clarité, de visibilité au niveau du personnel, quel que soit technique et politique au niveau des communes. Et ceci pour réussir et intervenir au bon moment et utiliser les moyens techniques et allouer les financements nécessaires. Et, et aussi, il faut avoir les financements possibles, surtout pour investir dans les renouvelables et possibilité de développer le projet par étapes, ce qui facilite la gestion financière. Parmi les forces ou bien les potentiels, il faut réaliser un diagnostic détaillé. Il faut identifier la nature des lampes de chaque quartier, quelle que soit la nature, la puissance, pour le degré d'éclairement, et ce pour avoir plus de résultats, plus d'efficacité au niveau d'intervention et au niveau de faisabilité technique et financière. Et faire une étude chaque. Et il faut faire une étude réalisée par une entreprise privée avec un petit investissement et pour avoir un nécessaire le plus maximum de nécessité pour le confort de l'éclairage public au niveau pour les usagers de la route et pour les citoyens, surtout le niveau d'éclairement pendant la nuit. Les équipes techniques ont déjà des connaissances, ce qui implique qu'il n'est pas avoir plus d'informations très faciles, qui n'est pas compliqué pour utiliser la nouvelle technologie avec plus de confort et plus de facilité. On passe.
Je sais pas, je voudrais juste nous assurer que la traduction, ça marche. Sinon, je peux faire la traduction vite, la synthèse en anglais. Est-ce que ça marche? Est-ce que vous avez toujours entendu en français? Gemma, vous sentez bien la traduction?
It does work better, but Montse, we cannot hear you very well. So maybe if Ruth can take over, we can hear you, but very low. So Ruth, if you can take over with the translation, thank you. Okay, so now we can continue. Ruth will take over with the translation. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Marie, on descend, j'ai terminé cette partie-là.
Oui, maintenant, on va faire la traduction. Ils ont besoin de 10 minutes.
OK.
Okay, so should we continue?
D'accord. Alors, Firas, si vous voulez bien reprendre.
OK. Par rapport à la question, la première question, quelle approche suivrez-vous? Quel objectif définirez-vous? La partie de l'approximation, on a défini qu'il faut réaliser un audit énergétique, de préférence qu'il soit détaillé le plus maximum possible pour avoir plus de résultats fiables. Il faut analyser le photovoltaïque car chaque pays a ses besoins et ses réalités. Ça dépend aussi du bâtiment, de son usage. Il faut analyser la rentabilité et ça dépend aux besoins des usagers. Et pour les objectifs sont la réduction de la facture énergétique et l'amélioration de la qualité d'éclairage pour plus de sécurité et améliorer la qualité de vie des citoyens. C'est bon pour la première question?
Très bien, c'est bien. Et on peut continuer.
Non,
la traduction, the translation is correct. Can we go on with the second question or you prefer that? Gemma, la traducció va bé? Sí, perfecte. Firas, vous pouvez bien continuer. Merci.
D'accord. Et est-ce que pour la deuxième, est-ce que pour la deuxième, je continue la deuxième uniquement ou bien je passe à la troisième?
Vous continuez la deuxième et jusqu'à la fin. On ne va plus vous interrompre. C'est à vous maintenant.
Ok, merci.
Merci.
Pour la deuxième question, quels sont les acteurs clés pour atteindre les objectifs et les parties prenantes? Bon, pour les acteurs clés, c'est essentiellement la commune, les citoyens qui ont un rôle très important et ils ont un rôle très important au niveau de concrétisation et la réussite des projets. Et parmi les parties prenantes, on a en Tunisie l'Agence nationale pour la maîtrise de l'énergie qui a la capacité de donner des subventions et d'encadrer les communes pour l'exécution des projets et donner de l'appui technique nécessaire pour la réussite des projets. Au niveau du Maroc, il y aura la Société de développement local qui a l'objectif de la performance énergétique. C'est une société qui est entièrement dédiée à la transition énergétique pour la commune qui concerne au niveau, c'est une société semi-étatique qui regroupe les communes et les acteurs privés. Il y a aussi les acteurs privés, il y a les opérateurs énergétiques comme le cas de la Tunisie, c'est l'ASTEC, Société tunisienne d'énergie et de gaz. Il y a aussi les bailleurs de fonds. Ce sont des acteurs clés et ce sont parmi les parties prenantes pour la réussite des projets. Pour la troisième question, c'est quelles sont la contribution et les barrières liées aux parties prenantes. La contribution, c'est la capacité technique et parmi les barrières, c'est l'évolution des mentalités, les habitudes des citoyens, des techniciens, etc. À propos de la quatrième question, c'est quelle action la municipalité peut-elle entreprendre pour résoudre les obstacles liés aux parties prenantes? Quelles sont les clés du succès? Euh, bon, parmi les actions, c'est la rentabilité du projet à court terme, présenter les expériences pilotes réalisées au niveau local, national, auprès des citoyens et au niveau des acteurs clés et au niveau des parties prenantes pour montrer les bienfaits et l'importance de ce projet, de la nouvelle technologie qui a été implantée. Communiquer et sensibiliser pour montrer les effets positifs et l'impact global de l'action et montrer surtout essentiellement l'impact environnemental et social pour encourager les acteurs clés de l'importance de l'action. Parmi les clés les clés de succès, c'est l'opportunité économique et réduction des impôts locaux. Cinquième question, comment le conseil municipal peut-il promouvoir la sensibilisation des citoyens et accroître la gouvernance? C'est à travers le travail avec des associations spécialistes ou bien spécialisées à ce domaine-là pour avoir plus d'informations et accès à l'information et peut-être promouvoir cette action pour les citoyens et, et expliquer l'impact environnemental et financier auprès de la population cible ou bien public cible. Et peut-être utiliser le mode ambassadeur de l'énergie au niveau de la commune pour promouvoir cette dimension énergie, climat, efficacité énergétique et tout cela. Et pour la sixième question, quelle est la priorité de sensibilisation et quelles actions seraient les plus efficaces? C'est la connexion entre énergie, mobilité, qualité environnementale, sociale il faut maîtriser essentiellement l'impact environnemental, social, montrer la relation de comment faire l'interaction entre le citoyen et le climat, l'énergie, etc. Pour la septième question, proposer un éventuel modèle de financement des actions. Comme modèle de financement, ça diffère entre un projet innovant, c'est un projet nouveau, et un projet en cours de rénovation. Par rapport à la question de rénovation, c'est-à-dire la régénération des quartiers existants, demande un schéma ou bien un modèle de financement plus difficile parce qu'il y a beaucoup des obstacles qu'on rencontre au niveau de rénovation. Donc, il y a des spécificités techniques qu'il faut les intégrer en avantage. Et pour les nouveaux quartiers, c'est plus facile au niveau du schéma de financement et au niveau de l'exécution parce que c'est un terrain vierge qu'on peut faire les nécessaires dès le début. Il n'y a pas beaucoup de contraintes au niveau de l'exécution. Et aussi, il y a la facture énergétique, il y a le contrat énergie entre le secteur privé et le secteur étatique. Ça dépend du schéma de financement, ça dépend de la réduction, ça dépend des objectifs fixés au niveau du contrat programme entre le secteur public et le secteur privé. Et parmi les recommandations aussi au niveau du modèle de financement, c'est l'actualisation des normes au niveau des autorisations de bâtir et que le secteur privé doit respecter la réglementation énergétique et thermique pour aider la commune et les autorités locales à concrétiser leur stratégie énergie-climat et ses objectifs. On a terminé à ce niveau-là et merci beaucoup pour votre intérêt et pour votre attention. Merci.
Merci beaucoup. So now maybe we can go give the word to the second group.
Okay, so thank you very much. We go to the second group. I will do the same that Maria did. I will share my screen with the answer, and who wants to present it of the group, perhaps Lila or Jessie, that you have participated a lot.
Yeah, Leila had to leave because she had last minute a meeting. So maybe Jessie, if you want.
Yes, or Roland, who prefer.
So we will list the weaknesses. We also chose the case 2. The weaknesses are the high dependency on fossil fuels and lots of blackouts because of the weak infrastructure. We put the lack of funds and the weaknesses and not and the threats. And we have a lack of awareness on importance of sustainability. Concerning the threats, we discussed the threats faced in Lebanon mainly, and it's the lack of political support and the political conflicts, the centralization of the decision-making and the monopoly of the power, and it's generated by one supplier, the BDL. For the opportunities, grants can be given by municipalities for boosting clean energy, and tax reductions can be made for on licenses for building construction or refurbishment, and public and private partnerships for developing sustainable energy action plan. The strengths are the strong network of a local community, and we need to define the consumption of the public lighting and for providing the most suitable technology for it. Okay, so what approach would you follow, and the goals defined? The approaches are participative approach and citizen awareness campaign. The change those points Laila was to provide more information about those points because she provided them. The change of idea of people about consumption and the synergy between the municipality, government and private sector, and the pilot projects for municipality because they had it in their municipality. And the goal is to reduce the energy consumption and, of course, to ameliorate the situation of the public lighting. And the key actors to achieve the objectives are the local community, the municipality, private sector, and the designers or engineers that would provide proper designs. And the stakeholders are the local community, the tourism sector, private sector, and the transport sector. The contributions, the contribution and the barriers related to the stakeholders. So the contributions are effective management and participative planning, and the barriers are the conflict of interest and the lack of involvement between stakeholders and the municipality. The actions that can be made by the municipality to solve barriers related to stakeholders are the good planning and management. And the keys to success are to increase the awareness. How can the city council promote citizen awareness and increase the governance? By working with the media and implementing public meetings. Okay. What are the awareness raising priority on which actions would be more effective? We actually haven't had time to discuss it in details, but it should be the mitigation of climate change and the lower energy consumption. And concerning the possible financing model, we discussed the public-private partnerships and the ESCO business model, energy service company. And how could a successful public energy advisory service be implemented? It's implemented by the municipality according to the needs of the population, and it's interrelated with awareness, but it's more regulatory campaigns than only awareness campaigns. And if anyone wants to add anything else, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jessie. Also for writing down more things. I understood you were reading your writings. I think you have more contribution. Thank you. Okay, so just to close these two presentations, we have seen these some common aspects on your discussion, especially from the SWOT analysis, the first analysis you have done. It is clear that for implementing an action, here is a specific about the case 2. We need to make an analysis that is integrated, that includes political, social, economical, technical aspects. And from this analysis that is integrated, the solution should be integrated too. So we have both the groups have talked about the importance of increase the citizen awareness through actions like campaigns or participative processes, or also implementing pilot projects that can, from the municipality, that can be an example for the citizens to understand the importance of energy efficiency. Also, the other aspect they said in the first group is the strict link between the problems of energy, mobility, environment, and social aspects. I think it is a very good reflection. And that's all. I don't know, Maria, if you want to add something, or Gemma.
I just wanted to ask, to link with the session we had last week, not last week, no, a couple of weeks ago, in which we discussed about nature-based solutions. I think if we have the two approaches in mind, we have to have an approach in which any new design, any new building, and a new layout for a new development to be built has to take into account the nature-based solutions. No? So the most efficient action to reduce energy consumption is to have a good design. And historical designs and medinas and the historical centers of Mediterranean cities, be it Barcelona or be it Tetuan or Sfax or any city in Lebanon, has very narrow streets with a lot of shadows, with designs that had patios inside and with a little fountain refreshed the air that passed through the windows. So I would also like to make a reminder that the most efficient policies are often to open the window. No? The last 20 years in urban design have been a disaster in terms of doing buildings that are fully glazed or with windows that have only glass, that or windows that cannot be opened, and that has been a complete disaster. I think both in the north and the south of the Mediterranean, now a lot of people are raising their voice to change the way in which we design these aspects and make it more easy for the people who occupy the buildings to clearly take decisions that favor our climate, which we have a very nice climate, and we can make a lot with winds and with the shadows of our streets. So just a quick reminder to link the two sessions, no? That there are a lot of nature-based solutions that can be very powerful, and that not everything is to change the installation. A lot can be done with a new design, or to take into account the very old manner of designing cities, in which there was a lot of knowledge, because there was no power or no air conditioning. No? So I think this must be taken into account as well. And maybe now I think it's a turn for the participants. Any question that has been raised in which you do not agree with, I think we have been very lucky that the two teams have selected two different case studies. So maybe we can contrast the ideas now, or any comment that you wish to make. Or we are simply too tired of so much screen. I was saying at the beginning of the session in our small team, Beliana, that this is a very efficient way to meet people from different countries in which we don't have to travel. We just have to share the screen and the timing, and of course our heads, but we're not consuming a lot of energy. We don't have to take a plane or a train or a car. So that's also a way in which the pandemic can also help change our behaviors in cities.
So I would say if no one has a question or a comment, maybe if you want, I can explain you about the mentoring process. But really, if someone wants to make a last comment before we close up and before I start explaining about the mentoring, just raise your hand or speak. Okay, otherwise I'm going to share my screen. If not, if afterwards you have any comment, you can do it as well. So, okay, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, you can see it in full. Okay, perfect. So, well, as you know, I'm going to explain you about the mentoring process. This mentoring process is part of each one of the training modules that MedCities is organizing. Just as a reminder, this one is one of the 4 training modules, which the first 2 were about residue management and environmental management, and then now we have this one of energy and the one of Thursdays, which is mobility. So each one of the modules was had these 2 parts, these 3 sessions, and then a second part, which is a mentoring process. So I'm going to explain you very briefly what does this consist on and how can you apply for it. So the objectives of this mentoring process is to accompany and provide advice for the diagnosis of the current status and challenges in each municipalities. Okay, so this will be done by performing one-to-one interviews with the experts that, well, in this case with Verdiana. And to see, which is the status of the municipality, what could be done to accomplish the objectives of the municipalities on terms of energy efficiency. And then together with the expert, you will select one realistic priority action. And then you will prepare a concept note to see towards which direction can the municipality go for the implementation of the selected measures. So the idea is that this concept note becomes like, can serve as a guide for the municipalities and also as a document to further develop the project through different funding opportunities, like, to develop the idea, and maybe it can become a call for an application for funding and so on. So during the whole mentoring section, the selected municipalities are expected to have a high implication because, well, it will require time for the interviews. Also, if you have to take data from other sectors of your municipality or whatever, and you will work hand to hand with the mentor. So this is what I was telling you about the diagnostic interviews. You will write the priorities document, and then from these priorities you will select one of them, and then you will develop this concept note and revise the concept note together with the experts. So the calendar, the opening of this, you can start applying. I will put in the chat now the Google forms that you have to fill in to apply for this section. You can start applying today, and then the closure will be in 3 weeks, more or in 3 weeks. The mentoring process will run from the end of May until the end of July, okay? So how to apply? You can apply by following filling in a questionnaire that it will be in Google Forms, And you will see that in the same questionnaire, there is one section where you have to upload a letter of interest. So this letter of interest has to be signed by a political representative of your municipality. And it has to state how will this mentoring process benefit the municipality. And the municipality has to express a commitment to allocate the needed human resources to do the interviews and to collect the data, so on. And in the same letter, you will specify at least 2 members of the technical team who will participate in this mentoring section. So that's it. That's the summary. You will also receive the information in your email. I will send you today or tomorrow all this. We encourage everyone to apply. Up to 3 municipalities will be selected for the mentoring process. There is no previous requirement. You don't need to have any previous projects on the topic, in this case, energy. So everyone that has participated in this first section can apply. So we really encourage you to apply for this mentoring process. So I don't know if you have any questions about this. No one has any question. Anyway, when I send you the email, of course, if you have any question, you can ask me by replying the email. So if some questions comes into your mind afterwards, there is no problem. So I'm going to put now here the link for the application form, okay? And I'm going to put also 2 more links, which is the evaluation form of this energy module, energy efficiency training sessions. So I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to add, Verdiana or Maria.
For me, just to thank you for coming to this session, and I strongly encourage you to participate to this next mentoring process, that can be really useful and interesting. I think it's very good opportunity to work in the development of new actions of your city.
In our case, I think it's very important that you share experience between the cities. I think the case of Tetuan, who has already implemented one of these policies with positive outcomes, it would be great if you could share between the cities the case study and improve it next time that it's implemented in another city. It has to be better even. So of course, encourage you to follow the mentoring process. And we need city experts and city leaders that, in a way, lead the path to a more sustainable urban future. So we count on you.
Okay, so if no one else has any comments or any questions, I will just say thank you so much, Verdiana, for the very nice presentations. Thank you, Maria and Alicia. And of course, thank you all the participants for your active participation. And even though in this time that it's a bit tiring to have so much webinars and so on, it was nice to see you all here. And I hope to hear from you during the mentoring application process, okay? So we are going to close here. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.